All right, so the next tea I'm gonna be making is one of the many Duckshit Oolong that I got from this year's trip to China, okay? I'm only releasing in one right now on the website. There are just so many different ones. It's Duckshit Oolong. It's just become so much more popular than I could imagine. I'm talking about like a Duckshit snacks. Duckshit, no, this is just a name, right? For those that does not know what is Duckshit Oolong, you can see the full story on my website about what is Duckshit Oolong. There's a lot of different legend story to it, but don't worry, it's just a name. There's no duck shit in it. The Chinese name is called Ya Si Xiang, which is literally means duck shit fragrance. But this is one of the few that I got from this trip. It's become very big over there. I see a soup meatball, Duckshit Oolong tea. I see a peanut snacks. Definitely see a milk tea. I see like desserts. It was kind of big over there, and it's kind of funny, you know. It was a lot bigger than I thought. So anyway, so for this particular one, a lot of the duck shit are different, but for this particular one, for some reason the flavor does not really comes out when I'm using the same amount as my last year duck shit. Part of it because it's not roasted as heavily. This is like half roasted in a way, so the flavor need to be bring out a lot more. And in Chaozhou, honestly, everybody using like crazy amount of Phoenix Oolong when they use a teapot. This is the size of the teapot. This guy one is too big. I'm still waiting for my shipping for a Chaozhou style guy one, which is like roughly about 60 milliliters. So we're going to use a normal size guy one for this, but instead of filling it up all the way, we're just gonna fill up halfway, okay? And same thing, we're going to use boiling water. We're going to see what it tastes like. And normally though, I will probably use a small teapot like this. It will taste very different. This is my seasoned Chaozhou teapot. Chaozhou is where this Phoenix Oolong come from, right? So this is a gift by by one of the pottery, by one of the makers. So really like that one a lot. But for now, let's use a guy one, right? We're gonna heat it up. We're going to put the 7 grams. You can see the 7 grams is a lot, right? If you want, you can even put 10 grams, to be honest with you. And then my goal is to just fill up the water right just above the line of the tea is, okay? So we're going to rinse this real quick. Very quick, goes in, goes out, right? Get rid of some dust, not wasting any time, right? Smell your cup. It has that flavor, that smell of like kind of like sweet honey with like slightly floral fragrance. So this is the one that we're gonna brew. Now we're going to just brew this slowly on the first one and just barely cover the leaf with the hot water. Pour it out immediately. And this is also very important. Keep the lid on it. A lot of like tea that is like a brighter color, like green tea, white tea, or tea that is a little bit more sensitive to heat, often you want to open the lid. But for Duckshit Oolong, for a lot of Phoenix Oolong, you want to keep the lid on. So every tea is different. Remember that. Right? That's a color that you want. See, it's very, very strong, kind of like vibrant, almost like golden honey, like almost like honey color. Very good, very, very good aftertaste, sweet, very powerful, lingers, the honey notes and the kind of orchid notes kind of like lingers really well. Slightly buttery. When you slurp it, even more complexity that comes to it. All right, so same thing, second infusion, a little bit faster. Just fill it up, just barely cover the leaf. Again, do not fill up all the way, right? And you can combine the infusion, that's totally okay. That's all it makes, right? In Chaozhou, everybody makes very small amount, right? Everybody is sharing for like 3 cups normally. So normally the setup is one tiny gawan and it's like half the size of these teacups. And then everybody only drink that little, very, very tiny. I'm actually not used to it, but because of that, they make it super strong. It's, you know, it's almost like having like a really strong alcohol. This is not something you wanna it's not something you wanna make that much, right? This is something that you wanna just kind of enjoy the aroma that lingers after. So you make it super strong and let that fragrance just kind of like fill your mouth. That's how you enjoy Phoenix Oolong. So it's very different with all the other oolong, right? That's why they make it concentrate in a way, so that that fragrance just stays in your mouth. That's how you really, really want to enjoy Phoenix Oolong. That's how you do it. I keep mentioning Phoenix Oolong because Duckshit Oolong is category of Phoenix Oolong. Very good, very clean, excellent. Fill up my whole body with like this warm sensation. Ah, man, I'm so happy with this Duckshit. In the beginning, when I first got it, I almost kind of disappointed because in the beginning I was brewing the Duckshit Oolong the style of last year, right? Now that was a completely different farm. So from this new farm that I visited, this is how they recommended me to make them, right? This is why I love doing what I do, because I've been drinking Duckshit Oolong forever and always using the same style. And I went there like, oh wow, my style was not the only method of making tea apparently. So hopefully, if you like me, you know, don't feel like there's only one method, you know. Who know? Who would thought you need to put that much? This is double the amount of the last year Duckshit Oolong that I was selling. So last year I think I put like 3 to 4 grams. This time I put 7 to 8 grams. Much smaller vessel, right? I'm gonna dump this just because I want to try the third infusions. And boiling hot, and instead of tasting the flavor, you're feeling the fragrance. That's why a lot of tea from this Phoenix area it's named with this fragrance after, like the name ended up with something fragrance, something xiang. Xiang means is fragrance or aroma. So Duckshit aroma, which is kind of stupid because it doesn't really have Duckshit aroma, but all the tea from Phoenix area is like Duckshit, like honey orchid. There's a special flower, almond, vanilla, ginger, and it's always ended with the word xiang. Each of them is its own cultivar. That's why you heard the term danzhong oolong, which is like a single bush. So those are what they're proud of. And I find out that they really like their oolong. So they don't really like black tea, they don't really like green tea. So it was pretty interesting because I was able to find really good black tea that is basically they don't want, you know. It's like it's crazy good quality. It's just because they only like oolong. They grew up with something like this, you know, and it's everywhere. Like the number of cultivar, the number of single bush varietal out there that I never heard was like crazy, you know. So I'm going to go back to Phoenix area to kind of like learn more about all of these random cultivar that I never heard of. Super excited. It's almost like remind me of like Japanese sencha, right? There's so many cultivar, but for Phoenix area, there's only a few that is popular. There's a lot of the non-popular one, but as a tea nerd like myself, I'm actually curious with those ones. But those are next year, so we're going to see. Okay, so because of how strong it is, that's another reason why you might think they're bitter, right? And that's just how they drink it, you know. So if you leave it too long in your mouth, especially on the back end, it might feel very bitter, right? But this is a very high quality. The bitterness is like very slight, and you don't want to wait until it cools down either. This is why they only make these little tiny cups, right? You drink it, you finish it. You don't want to wait until it's cold. When it becomes cold, it can get awful, I'll tell you that. And also another thing is you don't want to drink it with empty stomach. This is something you drink, you enjoy that after sensation, and just let it fill your throat, let it fill your whole mouth, and it's almost like I don't know, it's almost like a fragrance that just stays in your mouth, you know, in a good way. You know, it's not like artificial fragrance or anything. Right, I'm just waiting for the water boil, but this is what it looks like. That's what 7 grams looks like, okay? And you can easily brew this about 10 times. All right, boiling water, same thing. Just pour it, barely cover the liquid. Barely cover the leaf. Pour it out immediately. Only the first infusion you want to wait like 5 seconds, but after that, very quick. See, it will look like honey, and you want to drink it while it's hot. Even this feels like a little bit too much, to be honest with you. I feel like I still put too much water. Oh, it's the best when it's hot. It's the best when it's hot. All right, I'm gonna just, let's see if I can do it a lot less now. So, because the leaf expands, so covering it, it feels like it's still too much. Just goes in, goes out, right? That's the amount of the liquid that you wanna targeting. See, that's the perfect color actually. Goes in, goes out, okay? Yeah, very good. So repeat this process again and again. Cover the leaf, do not open it. And this is not something you wanna like brew like 2 hours later, 3 hours later. This is something you wanna like do it in one session, okay? Oh, very good, very good. Very happy. Can't wait for you guys to try this Duckshit Oolong, the new one of 5 Duckshit Oolong that I'm going to release eventually. But so far, it's just one on the website, okay? And this is also one of the tea of this month's tea club. Hopefully you learned something from this video. I'll see you again until the next tea video.